Hello, hurry in. Leave your burdens outside the door. This is The Flower of Freedom by Deborah J. Reeves. All rights to this original book and to my presentation of it are reserved. This is chapter 86. It's called Thawing. So please leave your burdens outside the door. Come on in. You know where your seat is. It's been reserved for you, and we're always happy to see you. We're hoping that these few minutes out of your busy day will give you a little rest and relaxation. That's our hope for you anyway. We wish you the highest best. Okay, here we go. Chapter 86, Thawing. Marie left the room with an arrangement of flowers, and the three musketeers went into the corridor to talk, leaving Bertie surrounded by goodbyes of Michaud, Suzette, and Josette. "What do I do?" asked Aki. "Nothing you can do about the watch now. Dietrich supplied a convenient cover story without knowing it. That made it more convincing. No explanations are necessary. That will be what Bertie assumes is true. If Hans was trying to provoke awareness of his presence or existence, it failed." "This time," said Francois in a desultory tone. "I'll get the data we collected to my friend tonight after we return to Paris. There will be no delays. Now, unless we want to alert Bertie, we should get back into the room and act like nothing's happening," Helmut said as Marie, who was returning from her secret delivery, said, "I agree. It's not like the three of you huddling in the hallway looks suspicious or anything." She breezed past them and back into Bertie's room. When Michaud and Suzette arrived to visit, Bertie had noticed that Michaud was unselfconsciously holding Suzette's hand, and Suzette did not seem to mind either. Francois and Josette seemed to be studiously pretending they had not noticed. But when Michaud's back was turned, Bertie noticed that Michaud's parents were sporting knowing grins. It was obvious that they liked Suzette. Who wouldn't? She was nice, and she was smart and kind and good. She sort of reminded him of Marie, and anyone who got Marie off her pedestal of ice, where she had enthroned her heart, would get the prize of the century. About 15 minutes after Francois, Josette, Suzette, and Michaud had left to return to Paris, Bertie looked over at his bedside table and he said, "Hey, my jelly cup is gone again." It was sitting right there next to the watch. That afternoon, when Bertie was speaking with his mother, she said that she was sending some schoolwork to him, not because his teachers were worried, but because she knew that he would want it. "Could you send some of your cookies too? Marie wouldn't share those Napoleons you sent, so maybe send twice as many of those. I still might not get any, but I won't feel as bad if I swipe one." He asked her to send it all to Aki's penthouse, because they were going there at the end of the week. Uncle Aki said that he was flying with him to Montreal in about another week after he got safely home. "Mama, talk him out of it, please. There's no need. I'll be fine. I get on the plane, I get off a few hours later. I'm not a baby." "I will do no such thing," Colette advised him. "Papa and I want to see him and thank him. He's part of our family and he's acting like it. This is important to him. Do not take it away from him. He wants to know that his contribution matters, and it does. You need to introduce him to your friends." Bertie thought about it for a moment, and he saw the reasoning. Then he told his mother about the gift of a truly fine watch that some anonymous group who was sorry about what happened to him had sent. Colette was touched by that, and she said so. "It's called a Submariner, and I can even wear it swimming without damaging it. I think it's made of stainless steel," he bubbled on. "A perfect gift for a young man," she mused. They signed off, to keep the costs down. Bertie thought for a few minutes about his skills as a matchmaker. He thought about how circumspect Philippe was being. He was pretty good at hiding his feelings, too. But the issue was that Bertie knew Marie better than she knew herself. And he was suddenly, and for the first time in his life, hearing the drip, drip, drip of an ice maiden thawing. It was a slow thaw, to be sure, but it was happening. Bertie made up his mind to follow Josette and Francois's example. He would pretend that there was nothing to see and let nature take its course. He prayed that nature was up to the task, because Marie was a formidable force of nature herself, and getting her to admit that life might just work out differently than she had planned, since she could string thoughts together, might be a major undertaking even for Mother Nature. That's the end of this chapter, and as always, we're so looking forward and hoping that you come back for the next chapter. Next chapter is chapter 87. It's called Time to Go.